Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Fabrizio Romano on Jadon Sancho. He says in the next few days we will have some updates. Some, I will have to say, are important updates to understand the situation. Bundesliga journalist Konstantin Eckner has said Man United have reached an agreement in principle with Sancho, but Man United have not yet made a bid. Reports came out yesterday saying that Man United are preparing to put in an £85 million bid. The personal terms with Jadon Sancho have been agreed. We prefer Jadon Sancho over Harry Kane. I think Kane is now staying at Tottenham. Jadon Sancho has already said he wants his future resolved before the start of the Euros. Jadon Sancho has Man United transfer hopes as Borussia Dortmund are looking for replacements. Borussia Dortmund have already told Jadon Sancho that he can leave the club this summer. Solskjaer made Sancho a transfer priority. Sky Sports recently said that Man United remain in talks with Jadon Sancho's representatives and Man United is the most realistic destination for Sancho. Borussia Dortmund earlier on this year confirmed that they've got a gentleman's agreement with Sancho that will allow him to depart Dortmund this summer, and the Manchester Evening News said that Sancho is pushing for a transfer out of Dortmund. Sancho's already said that he favours a move to Man United over Chelsea. So yeah, it's very, very imminent now. He's going to be coming in. I think at some point this week, he could be officially a Manchester United player. We should have got Jadon Sancho last summer because Jadon Sancho to Man United last summer was extremely close. The personal terms had been agreed, the agent fees had been agreed and a contract had been agreed. But the reason we didn't get him is because we was reluctant to meet Borussia Dortmund's 108 million valuation. We was only willing to pay so much up front. Dortmund, don't forget, gave us until the 10th of August to sign the player. We missed out on that deadline, so Sancho remained at Dortmund. Sancho's endured 4 years at Dortmund. Dortmund paid just £7 million for him from Man City, and he's got a contract with Dortmund until 2023. The reasons he'll be a good signing for Man United is because he'll dramatically improve us. He'll assure us goals. He's good at creating chances. He's predominantly a right winger. He's still young. He's got a lot of development in him. He will exceed expectations in the Premier League, and he's got a very, very good friendship with Marcus Rashford. Sancho and Marcus Rashford do talk to each other a lot. Fabrizio Romano has also given us an update on Tom Heaton. He's come out and said that Tom Heaton is joining Manchester United on a 2-year contract with an option of an extra year. In the last week of June, he will have his medical. Yeah, we are set to sign Tom Heaton on a 3 transfer. I think it was last week Tom Heaton said his goodbyes to Aston Villa. Tom Heaton got released by Aston Villa. It got confirmed on their official website. You know, we used to have Tom Heaton before, you know, he came through our academy. His current contract at Aston Villa was due to expire soon. Villa paid £8 million for him from Burnley. Declan Rice, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer also wants him. I think Romano has given us an update on Declan Rice, obviously to Chelsea. Because Chelsea have obviously been linked with Declan Rice. Said not so long ago that Man United are preparing a transfer bid for Rice to test West Ham's resolve. West Ham value Declan Rice at £100 million. He's a good player, but he's not worth £100 million. I reckon he's worth from between £60 to £70 million. Declan Rice is desperate for Jesse Lingard to seal a permanent transfer at West Ham because Lingard's done very well since he's gone out on loan to West Ham. Darren Fletcher, our technical director, did reveal that Rice asked about Man United when he was on international duty with England. Solskjaer did agree with our recruitment team that Declan Rice would be the perfect signing for the club. Reports came out the other month though saying that Declan Rice is interested in joining Man United. And he asked Harry Maguire and Luke Shaw about life at Old Trafford. The reasons I'd take Rice at Man United is because he's still young, he's got a lot of development in him, he's well proven in the Premier League. He initially learned his trade in the Premier League. He's predominantly a holding midfielder and Man United need a holding midfielder, and he can also be deployed as a centre-half. And he'll be a good adequate replacement for Matic. You know, Rice has been at West Ham for 7 years. He's got a contract with them until 2024. Do you think Raphael Varane could come to Man United this summer? Well, it says we may have been handed a boost in our pursuit of Raphael Varane, with obviously Carlo Ancelotti returning to Real Madrid. It says Man United and PSG have both made offers for Raphael Varane because it's impossible for Real Madrid to meet his demands. Now Varane is available for €40 million. That is an absolute bargain. Not so long ago though, Real Madrid were demanding £60 million and they did reject a £40 million bid. Raphael Varane recently spoke out on his future. He said it's unlikely his future will be resolved for the summer's European Championships. Man United have already been in talks with Raphael Varane's representatives, and Romano did say that he's the main name on our list and we was waiting to see what happens with his situation at Real Madrid. His contract expires next year. His contract talks at Real Madrid stalled a while ago. He did say last season, Varane, that he's keen on a move to the Premier League. Defence Central have said that Man United and Chelsea are prepared to double his wages. Varane recently rejected Man United in favour of a move to PSG. But Real Madrid have decided to sell. Back in 2018, Woodward was prepared to sanction a £100 million move. 10 years ago, we went in for Varane. He'd be a great addition to our squad if he came in because he'd complement Harry Maguire very well in our back line. He's regarded as one of the best centre-halves in the world. He's highly experienced. He would exceed expectations in the Premier League. And he's got a great pedigree as a player. He's won 18 major honours at Real Madrid. So they're the reasons. Varane has been a long servant at Real Madrid. He's endured 10 years with them. He's made over 300 appearances in all competitions. Real Madrid paid just €10 million for him from Lens back in 2011. You know, we've been looking at a few centre-halves who still want a centre-half despite Eric Bailly signing a new contract towards the end of last season. But it's not long now until the summer transfer window opens. It opens on the 9th of this month. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is aware of how big the summer transfer window is going to be for himself and Manchester United in general. It's very imperative that Solskjaer gets the players he wants to recommend in. Our board have said that they will back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer with a new 3-year contract and summer signings. I think the board have promised Solskjaer around 4 new signings. Solskjaer said he wants around 4 new signings in order for Man United to challenge for the Premier League next season. Solskjaer has been given a $150 million transfer budget to buy around 4 or 5 new players. The summer transfer window will be his 5th transfer window as permanent Man United manager, but you know what? I'm expecting him to get the backing he deserves, reflecting on what our board have recently said. And plus we've got John Murtough, he's our director of football. We've got Darren Fletcher, he's our technical director. And we've also got Matt Judge. There's going to be outgoings in the summer transfer window. So in that aspect, it will generate money and that will help us with our rebuilding process. Next season is going to be massive for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And I think he is aware of that. Next season, Solskjaer needs to win a trophy, in my opinion, if he is to remain Manchester United manager. If we start off next season badly, then I presume that the pressure will be back on Ole, then he could end up getting sacked. You know, Solskjaer has not yet won a trophy as Manchester United manager. And we haven't won a trophy for 4 years. That's nowhere near good enough to our standards. Like I said the other day, Solskjaer is still lucky to be Manchester United manager. Because we lost the Europa League final to Villarreal not so long ago. And Solskjaer made mistakes in that game. You know, his substitutions were on. He brought the substitutions on too late. He brought his first sub on in the 100th minute. He also should have replaced De Gea with Dean Henderson for the penalties, which he didn't do. And he should have taken Marcus Rashford off because he did sustain a knock. Some United fans thought his lineup was wrong. I thought the lineup was correct. You know, that was probably our strongest 11. Obviously, there was no Harry Maguire because obviously he's got ligament damage in his ankle and he was a big miss for that final. Solskjaer did say, though, that it wasn't a successful season for Manchester United and he accepted that. One thing I do like about Ole, though, he has got a lot of honesty about him. Very honest. The reason Solskjaer is still Manchester United manager is because he's a club legend. And that's what's basically saved him. Disregarding Solskjaer being a club legend, I can almost assure he wouldn't have been Manchester United manager now. I think a lot of United fans will agree with me on that aspect. Solskjaer has been in charge of Manchester United for 29 months. It's nearly 30 months now. That's over 2 years. And he's endured 2 full seasons at Manchester United. Solskjaer has just under a year left on his current 3-year contract. I think a lot of United fans believe that it's a mistake giving him this new 3-year deal. We should wait until his current contract expires and then analyse how it's gone and then decide whether or not to give him the new 3-year deal. Reflecting how long Solskjaer's been at the club, he has gained some managerial experience and he has learnt quite a bit on the job and he's tried a few different elements. Before us, Solskjaer was with Mulder. He won a few Norwegian titles at Mulder, but they're not a big club. He enjoyed 2 spells at Mulder, and before Mulder he was at Cardiff, and his record at Cardiff was absolutely disastrous. And he managed a Man United reserve team for a couple of years, so he watched some of the team grow and develop. But whether Solskjaer succeeds or not, I will always adore him. All United fans will adore him. Because he is a club legend. He endured 11 years as a player for Man United. He flourished under Sir Alex Ferguson's guidance. He isn't the long-term manager for us. If we do eventually decide to sack Solskjaer, who will come in to replace him? I think Zinedine Zidane's available. I think he's now managerless. Allegri, we've been in for him before. One point, Mauricio Pochettino was linked with a managerial role at Man United. Some United fans reckon we should have got Pochettino in when he was available. I'll take Brendan Rodgers at Manchester United. I just think we've got to get someone in with a proven pedigree and someone who would suit the strappings of the club. I think Solskjaer has done a good job though, because I didn't expect him to do as well as he has done to say the squad he was left with when he got appointed in as Man United manager. Because obviously he was inheriting a lot of deadwood and he's still inheriting some deadwood now. But I've got to credit Solskjaer in a lot of aspects. He has made good signings as Manchester United manager. So far, he has spent almost £300 million. He's got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he's come in. He did well in his first full season, guided us to 3 semi-finals, got us a 3rd place finish. In his second full season, he did well. Last season went the entire season without losing away from home in the Premier League. And that is a record. He got us to the Europa League final, although I know we didn't win it, but he still got us to the final. He got us a 2nd place finish. It's not an achievement finishing 2nd like Solskjaer mentioned, but you can see that there was progress made from his first full season. Got us to the FA Cup quarter final and got us to the EFL Cup semi-final. Another thing I've got to credit Solskjaer for, when he got appointed in as Man United manager, he assured that everybody would get their chances to express themselves, including the young players, and more or less everybody has been given their chances. And I like the way he has promoted the youth in general. We appointed Solskjaer in December 2018 and he's been permanent Man United manager since March 2019. Solskjaer knew when he'd taken over at Man United it was going to be a massive job, despite him knowing the club through thick and thin. But he is our best manager since Ferguson. In the last 8 years, nothing's really changed at Manchester United. It's just been an ongoing cycle of inconsistency. Mistakes have been made in the last 8 years or so. That's why we've been so inconsistent. 3 managers have been sacked since Ferguson. We sacked David Moyes, we sacked Louis van Gaal, and we sacked Jose Mourinho. And we really haven't got the structure to keep sacking managers, because We're not really known as a sacking football club. We've overpaid for players in recent years, our recruitment's been poor, in that aspect the blame stems from the board. We've brought around 37 players in since Ferguson retired and spent over £1 billion on them in total. We've only won, 4 trophies since Ferguson retired. Haven't won the Premier League since 2013, that's 8 years ago now. No one is going to replicate what Ferguson did at the club, and no one's going to last as long as he did. Ferguson endured a 26-27 year tenure at Man United, won 30 odd trophies including 13 Premier League titles, so reflecting on that, Ferguson brought success to the club, but Ferg didn't settle in straight away because he didn't win out in his first 4 years at Man United. If he'd got sacked any time in that 4-year period, he wouldn't have had any success. Because, we haven't been the same since Ferguson left, and before Ferguson we was inconsistent. Weren't good under Ron Atkinson, Rory really. Wolf McGuinness, we weren't that good, and we weren't good under Franco Farrell. Got relegated under Franco Farrell back in 1974. We know that Woodward is standing down at the end of the year. That's good news from Man United perspective. It got announced earlier on this year that Woodward resigned as Man United vice chairman. Woodward has had a 16-year association with the club. Obviously as well, we've been trying to get the Glazers out. Towards the end of last season, there was a lot of protests at Old Trafford against the Glazers. You can understand the fans' frustration. The reason we want the Glazers out is because they've put us in so much debt. And I hate the way the football club has been run for a long time. They are the main reasons. The Glazers have been at Man United for 16 years. They bought the club for $500 million back in 2005. Joe Glazer will be attending the Fans Forum on the 4th of June. Not so long ago, Joe Glazer wrote a letter to Man United fans. Didn't he? And Avram Glazer refused to apologise over the European Super League. At the beginning of May, Solskjaer did reveal that the Glazers apologised to him. He did say the violent incidents went too far, but he says the club need to take notice of the fans. And at one point, Solskjaer was angry with Gary Neville over the protest. Gary Neville had a lot to say on it. He did say last season that the Glazers could be forced to sell Man United, but for only £4 billion. Like I said, the players I think Man United should get rid of in the summer transfer window. We need to get rid of De Gea. As you all know, there has been talks of a David De Gea and Jan Oblak swap deal. I think we need to offload Romano, we need to offload Lee Grant, we need to offload Phil Jones, we need to loan Brandon Williams out, we need to obviously get rid of Lingard permanently, we need to get rid of Delors permanently, we need to get rid of Andres Pereira permanently, we need to offload Matic, we need to offload Van der Beek. Don't forget Van der Beek is set for showdown talks with Solskjaer over his future. We need to offload Juan Mata, and we also need to offload Anthony Martial, but it recently said that Solskjaer made his decision on Anthony Martial's future. He's told the Glazers Solskjaer that he wants Martial to stay for next season because he believes he's got a big role to play. So anyway guys, that's everything to update with today. Drop your comments, like, explore on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.